All right, at least battery is safe. That's good. Okay, you just didn't have a... Wow, what a cascade of errors. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Austin of The Lone Few. Today, we're back with some Black Ops 4. I think this is the first video that will probably go up of Black Ops 4. I apologize. The actual launch week, we did nothing. And I think a good part of that was just we didn't know what exactly to do. And also working around everyone's schedules is always a fucking headache. But we do have a lot of videos in the can that I will be editing after this. I'm recording this at around 4 p.m. I'm getting Zach's footage for, like, I think 5 videos worth at 8. So I'm doing this in the meantime. But I wanted to just sit down and play some Call of Duty, you know, like we always do. And I'm going to do multiplayer because I realize that I suck at Blackout now. But one thing that they did just add is the new Black Market. Now, I've already played about a dozen games, and so I've gotten to Tier 1. And I kind of want to talk about the entire system here in a sec and how it's good, but it's not good. So to kind of lay it all out there, they've adopted this Fortnite-style battle pass type system, except it's free, so everyone, you know, can get on it. There is no... I knew there was some motherfucker there. There he is. Okay. So there is no... You don't have to buy into it like you do the seasons in Fortnite. But it seems like in order to compensate for it being free, they have made it next to impossible to rank up and progress through getting these cosmetic items. So there's 200 tiers. 200 tiers with, I believe, every tier you get something. How many of these fucking barricades do they have? They just locked us in. And I believe each tier has, you know, an item there. A lot of the tiers, like, I want to say, like, a good 100 of the tiers, it seems like, so about half, have these things called reserves, which seem like these single item supply drops. You know, you just kind of get a random item, which I feel like that kind of defeats the purpose of, there's an RC. Oh, that's ours. Wait, did he just sacrifice himself to remove this goddamn barricade? Oh, hell yeah, dude. You will not die in vain, little car guy. You know, that's the system that they put out. And I think that if it was a, like, okay, you play 2, maybe 3 games and you progress a tier. So in theory, it would take you, let's see, 500 games maybe to go the full 200 of a season, of which we have 2 months to do. Actually, 500 games is a lot. Jesus. I feel like if you put 15 minutes into the game, you should go up 1 tier. That is probably about where it should be to be like everyone is constantly getting stuff, right? But they don't want everyone to constantly be getting stuff. You know, they want some of the higher tier items to be special. The problem is they're too special because right now there are here. I gotta back out of the lobby to see this. So I'm halfway through tier 2, I guess. I've hit tier 1, and now I'm going to tier 2. I'm assuming that the distance between 0 and 1 is the same distance between 1 and 2. And is the same distance between 199 and 200, or if it ranks up like your rank does, because if so, God help us. Doing that math, and other people have done this math for me, so, you know, you don't have to trust my fucking high school should-have-been dropout ass. It would take you 8 hours a day for 60 days, or for 52, or whatever the time frame is for this first event. You would have to play 8 hours a day every single day in order to hit level 200. Meaning that the only people who are going to hit level 200 are pro players who literally get paid for this, literal children over Christmas break, and YouTubers who, you know, also do this for a living and can put in 8 hours a day, you know, most days at least, just playing the game, just ranking up. 99.99% of people won't even get past, I think, tier 20 with this current system. And you have 2 months to do it. And I'm hoping that Treyarch listens to this. It seems like they responded pretty quickly with the whole 150 health and zombies thing being kind of atrocious. But that's also a different team, so who knows how multiplayer and Blackout, how those teams are going to respond. But what's even more bizarre is when you go into the new Halloween event as well, which is running concurrently, progress you do on one is the same progress as all the others. They max out at level, like, I think like 30 or something. Like, hang on, let me, no, I didn't have fun. I joined and then lost. It's like, okay, so the first thing you get at tier 2 are tags, which don't even get me started on the fucking tags. These will be the new foregrips. That's what these will be. No one is going to give a shit about these tags. So there's a tag at 2, at 4 there's an emote, there's some emotes and face paints. Emote, face paint at 14, 17 there's an emote, 21 there is a face paint, and then there's nothing. There's nothing left. And you have 12 days to do this. So they are assuming that you can reach level 21 in 12 days, okay? Which, first of all, I'm not even sure if that's possible, but let's just say that you can. Here, hang on, let me open up a fucking calculator. So 12 days, or you know what, I'll round it up to 13 because it's 12 days and like 20-something hours. Like noon today, I guess, is when it started. So 13 days takes you to go 21 levels. So 21 divided by 13, you gotta be, you have to go up 1.5 levels a day in order to hit everything 1.5 levels. Which honestly is, I want to say it's doable with the current rate, but it's a lot better, it seems, than you know, it's a lot more doable, I'd say. However, 200 levels you have on the main one, which most of which, you know, again, are these weird supply drop things anyway. Like, they just got lazy, I guess. 200 levels, you have 51 days. I'll round that up to 52. 52 days. I don't even have to actually do the math on that. That's 4 levels a day, right? That is more than double the rate that you need to get everything in Halloween. It's like they aren't even balanced with themselves, you know? Like you would think that the big main event, like that goes on a while, you know, in the same way that we had, was it Operation Overlord and all that stuff in World War II? You would think that would be the easier one to grind on, and that the timed events would be a little bit more difficult because they're timed. But it seems backwards here. Like it's easier to get the Halloween stuff than it is anything else. And on top of that, I mean, I'm looking at this now, a lot of the stuff really isn't even worth it. Like really, there are only like 2 or 3 items on this list that I like. But really, like the 2 main things I want are Hudson and this cool gun. And, like, that's it. You know, the rest of the time, it's just a grind fest. It's not like you're unlocking stuff the entire way that's cool and awesome. You're only working toward these 2 things at the end. 8 hours a day for 2 full months? Like, that is assuming that like, you got paid $15 an hour, okay? Just baseline $15 an hour. 8 hours a day for 60 days. Or for 52 days. I'm sorry, I keep on rounding it up. First of all, that's 416 hours. Which, by the way, is more hours than I have clocked in the entirety of the Black Ops series. I think. It's gotta be, right? So, 416 times 15, $15 an hour, let's just say. Is this fucking Hudson skin and cool ICR worth $6,200? Because if so, start grinding. If not, fuck off. It's unreal how much these are. And now they've also announced that in November, probably alongside Nuketown, like whatever update brings that out, they're going to bring Blackjack's marketplace where you can just buy specific things, like on a just rotating in and out thing, just like Fortnite also does. It's worrying to me because it seems like they threw this thing in here to just appease the people who are saying, like, no, you should be able to grind to get cool stuff so that, like, they have something to point to. But in reality, that system just does not work. I would put fucking money that less than 25 people in this goddamn world will have the Hudson skin just by playing. I mean, I'm sure that's going to be the first thing that you can buy outright for, you know, 25 bucks or something. But there's no way that you're grinding for that, you know? It's a shit system full of what I think are pretty shit items at the moment. Now, they always start with some pretty bad paint jobs and outfits and everything at the beginning, and then as DLCs come out and kind of as the game finds its own, and as devs are no longer focused on, you know, fixing bugs and now more focused on creating cool stuff, of course, the outfits and the paint jobs and everything, they get better. And so I'm really, you know, I'm not here to shit talk the actual items quite yet, you know, because they can only go up. But the system in which you unlock them is not good. And that's kind of disappointing because I thought that World War II, you know, for all that it did wrong, it also did a lot of stuff well. I thought they handled events and everything pretty well, you know, and how you buy DLC weapons and all that stuff, you know, at the Quartermaster. I feel like they were a little bit too expensive for my taste. But I feel like also if they had like introduced this DLC weapon that came out with this event, if instead of grinding for all that, you could instead buy it for like $2.99, I would honestly like I don't know for sure that I would buy, you know, anything, but I would definitely contemplate, you know, just buying that weapon. And my concern here is that they're going to do that, you know, exactly that in this game, except instead of having a solid system where you can buy it, or where you can get it for free, they're instead making the system overly difficult so that they can charge more for it later. You know, like I just said, that Hudson skin, you know, if you were paid $15 an hour for your grinding, it would be worth $6,000. And I could definitely see them doing some like overpriced bullshit, like, you know, hey, you want this cool ICR variant? It'll be $15. Just cuz. And that would just be a variant. Like once they add in, you know, new guns, I'm not paying $60 for a fucking M16 in a game that I already spent $100 on. And that is my main concern, is that they are using this system to inflate the difficulty, which will in turn inflate the prices once they actually do drop. And that while right now the stuff that you get isn't really cool at all, you know, give it 2 months and it'll be full of weapons and really cool skins, maybe even a specialist or something, you know. I think a very simple solution would be to speed up the, you know, rate at which you go through tiers by at least a factor of, I think at minimum a factor of 3. I wish, for one, that they would bring daily orders back and maybe make it like if you complete all 6 of your dailies in a day, you progress 1 tier or something like that. Make something challenge-based so that it isn't just a matter of time. It isn't just time played. Because one other issue I'm gonna, like, I feel like we're gonna start seeing is... Yo, this is the worst gunfight I've ever been in. Everyone remembers World War II when Infected came out and you could just rubber band your stick. Or I think you didn't even have to rubber band your stick in the beginning. And you could just, you know, you weren't going to get kicked at all from Infected. I feel like we're just going to, as a community, find a loophole like that. And it's going to, you know, be abused to the point where... You know, you couldn't even play Infected by the end of it, you know, but by the end of that exploit. I'm afraid that's the path that we're headed down if it's purely time played and absolutely nothing else. Another solution that I think could work well is letting our zombies playtime also count toward this, and by extension kind of making certain things like sprays and emotes also work in zombies. Because when I really stop to think about it, I think if emotes have a place anywhere, like it would be the co-op mode, I would think, before multiplayer. There's never been an opportunity in multiplayer where I've been like, hey, I really, really want to like fist bump with this dude. But there have been many times in zombies where I'm like, you know what, I kind of wish that we could do something here, you know, like fucking around in between rounds. Or even, you know, when you play with randoms, just to communicate, you know, like, hey, do you want to open this door or this door? And then like, you know, a pointing animation or a thumbs up and thumbs down. Which, of course, you can already do by, you know, nodding and shaking your head. But, you know, just adding more tools and stuff for that, you know? And so, you know, by adding them there and then also making the time played count there as well, I think immediately it would become, I'm just going to spray and spray. I killed him. How the fuck did you lose that, asshole? Just by the fact that zombies games run so much longer than even Blackout matches, you know, we're going to end up inflating our numbers there as well. Now, that's pretty much all that I have to say about it. I'm going to finish up this game. You know, before I cut, just you know, because I'm not a rage quitter like some other people, especially not when we're only down by 7. I've talked to Phoenix and to Zach, who both seem to have a lot of issues with people rage quitting, and like their entire team is gone and they're just spawn trapped in the corner somewhere. And I mean, I'm sure that is a problem. Oh Jesus, that's not something that I've had to deal with. Most of the time I'm on the other end of that. Like I'm the guy who, when I hit join, I just jump into a game that already is happening. And I'm kind of being spawn killed and stuff like that. That I feel like the game could probably work on. I guess I think it's matchmaking is a big part of it. It seems like high level players get teamed up with other high-level players. But that could also just be because the game is so new and, you know, even though you might be really good at the game, you are a low level because there just hasn't been enough time to get a high level, you know? They're like all stuff that would get ironed out as the game's life cycle progresses. The real issue that I have a problem with half the time is spawns. Oh, hang on. First of all, if I throw a thing... Well, that's fucking dumb. I thought I killed myself. I was about to fucking literally kill myself. But I feel like the biggest problem with the spawns is the spawn beacon, because people will just kind of place it down to get points, and half the time they'll put them like in your spawn, like as we're starting. That's the first thing in the game that they do, and it just fucks with the spawn for the entire time. Like even when you flip the spawn, we will still spawn there more because it defaults to spawn at the spawn beacon. I would, if it didn't default to it, I feel like it would be a lot better. But I know me, at least, you know, when I die, I'm just mashing square and it goes straight through it anyway. So I mean that is entirely my fault for doing it, but it's something that I wish they would fix. So you know, veterans of the series like me who have, you know, just mashed square for so long don't have to adapt. Because god damn it, I don't want to adapt. Anyway, I'll leave it with that. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below about the contraband system. That's all I have to say for today. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like down below. All that jazz. New custom games should be coming out probably Monday or Tuesday. I'm going to aim for Monday. This should come out on Sunday. I'm aiming for Monday, aiming for Tuesday for custom games, and then later on in the week. Yeah. I'll see you guys when I see you guys. So see you guys. Peace.